Welcome back, guys. Automotive Inc. here. So today on our channel we are working on the '08 Duramax. A few little quirks that that truck has is the driver's door actuator down here that does the lock. This will not activate with the door lock at all. So if we pan over to that passenger side, we can see it does that. So where that lies and has the problem is even with the key fob, it does not lock. So we have to lock the door manually right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this door apart, and I've done videos before taking other vehicles apart. You guys know I am really high and strong bent on not marring the plastics, especially older plastics like this. The OEM ones are going to be better than anything you can get repop. So it will behoove you to get the right tools and do it correctly. So I did go ahead and pop the lock assembly out, or the actual switches. Let's take a look. Because before you do anything, guys, you want to make sure that this switch assembly, because if this is the only problem, they're like 30 bucks on Amazon. That being said, this original one is the best if we can keep it. So because I got an actuation on both sides, you can hear it clicking. We know that's not going to be the issue. So again, I use my handy dandy body tools, and what that does is these are plastic. This is kind of a rubber material. You're going to put it underneath the trailing edge. They'll come in a set of 2. You get this one going, leave it there, grab the other one, and then just kind of work it back as you pop this up from these tabs. And then this is a good time too, guys, to clean underneath all of this crap. So we're going to clean underneath all these buttons. So this had a trim piece around it, and whether you have a lower trim or a higher trim, you're just going to have less switches. This being an LTZ, you know, it has some extra stuff, but now's a good time we can actually get in every one of these little crevices. So we're going to clean that up with some just Dawn dish soap. So again, one of my life hacks is the little ducky can be cleaned up with the Dawn. Everything can be cleaned up with Dawn. It's not abrasive. If you use it on your hands, your dishes, and ducks, you can use it to clean all the grease and finger goo off and stuff. So super cheap. Bucket of hot water. We're going to clean this up here in a minute. And then from here, we used a T15 Torx to remove the top 3 screws, just so I could access these bottom parts of the switches if I needed to take this apart to actually repair the switch itself versus replace the whole thing. Now all these are going to have little pinch tabs here. All you do is push in towards like you're installing it. Then you're going to depress all these little tabs here, and as you do it, you push in, it'll come out. If you're doing that and it's not coming out, don't force it. Try again. I can do it one-handed. And most of this stuff, even if it's been in the door for 10-15 years, it probably hasn't seen a lot of grime. Maybe if it's on a ranch or something like that where you have a lot of dust, or in a dry climate, but still it's going to come out pretty easy. So again, just depress that, push it down, push it in, and then again, like I said, I'm only doing one-handed, and then you're just going to wiggle these out. You really can't mess this up. These are going to go in the same place, and when you pull them up, they're all going to kind of just line up loose like that. So we're going to get the rest of those removed and pull this apart. All right, guys, so once we get that plug, set it aside. And again, that's a good opportunity for you to clean it up. Now, there's only 3 bolts holding this door on. There is a little plastic cover here. Down there at the bottom, you can see a little tab. Again, I'll put the link in the description for these. These are like $6 for like a 10 piece, and I get several different ones. You can see right here, I have all of these different ones for just every little angle. Once you pop that loose, then you come down here. There is a little guard here. And again, this is gonna be behind the handle, so it's a good time to clean that up. Again, just work that down around it, pop that loose, and then down in here there will be the 2 bolts. So you're going to need a handy dandy socket wrench with an extension, and they don't need to be over tightened, guys. This is all plastic stuff. So we're going to take both of these out, and they should come straight out with the ratchet, but if not, you can use a magnet to pull them. But then we're going to pull this one out too in just 1 second. All right, once we get the 3 out of there, I always start at the bottom. This actual panel is held on by these little plastic body fasteners. I call them Christmas trees. That's just the way they look to me. So I'll get one edge started with another body tool, and it's going to come around here. And then once you get it popped up, you can kind of just start pulling it. As you get around to places where it feels tighter, that's where one of the fasteners is actually at. So that's where we want to do most of our prying. We don't want to be back over here trying to pull up a fastener that's over here, because that can actually like stretch this plastic out and then puts that white ring. So if you see white rings on a lot of body plastics, that's usually because people have removed the panel several times. All right, once you get the lower part of the door loose, we can see it's all loose here. There is one panel up here. We're gonna start at this top edge, work yourself down. It's still basically attached to this, but it's super easy from there. And then we basically have the entire door panel loose. When we lift this up, this will fall back through the hole. Don't worry about it. All right, so real quick, so my 11 LML, this actually fell back through the hole. So what on this one specific, you just need to get a little flat blade screwdriver. You can see a little detent there. This will just pop out, and then this will slide off the top of there. You don't have to worry about lining it up. It'll go all the way on when you put it back on. So now we can lift the door off. I end up pulling this top piece out, just made it easier to wiggle around these so it didn't get kept trying to get back into these two holes. So just pop that off, pop the two off, then you can pop the bottom one off. All right, guys. Obviously, this one wire right here is you can't really unplug it, and undoing this cable is kind of a pain in the butt. So you'll need a 7mm, and if you have an extra set of hands while you're doing this, that always does help. But I was able to do it by myself. And what you do is you'll take the two screws that are holding this into the panel. It'll be sitting like this, and then once you get those out, start at the bottom of the lip, the bottom of this mechanism down here, pop it out, and then it'll just fall out the bottom. Once you turn it sideways, you can shove it through the door. So now we're inside here. We're gonna get to where the actuator is, because that's where I think our problem lies. So this little insulation piece, careful not to jack it up. But yeah. All right, guys. So you're gonna need a Torx 30 then to remove the 3 bolts here. And whether or not you have a screw gun, a drill, you can put that T30 in. I will put a link in the description. You can grab that same little side of Torx bits, and those have the security dimple in them. So this is a good cheap set to get. You can get them on the Zon. And then when you do remove this black adhesive, if you get close to it while you're pulling it away, don't just grab here at the top and try and pull it all back. It will restick later, so you'll be in luck there. So just work it as you go down, and you don't need to remove the whole door. So move the Torx 30s. We're gonna set them aside. All right, guys, so here's the actuator. So inside of there, this is gonna have a clip. You're gonna squeeze this, pop this loose. One of the rods will pop out. Then from there, you can actually pop this one sideways out the other little clip, and then this is your top actuator here. Now, there is a cable that goes through this hole that is gonna be hooked here. You're going to unhook that. That's what actually lets the door open. And then you'll squeeze the 2 tabs that are on it so it pops loose, and then it has to come out the back side of that. So keep that in mind. This is the electrical connector. This is gonna come up with a flat blade screwdriver, and as it comes up, it actually kind of shoves itself out the back side. Now, I would recommend having the spare piece here in the event that you can't repair this piece. We're gonna open it up and take a look at it and see if there's anything that we can fix or find broken, because this is about a $45 piece on the Zon. I'll put that in the link. But if you can fix it and you want to save the money, then you can. If not, you'll at least reuse your rods here, and this clip will probably be new on that piece, but if not, you'll need to do that. So don't throw this out until you're ready. But you want to have this piece handy, ready to put back in, because otherwise you're going to have to put this all back together just to use the vehicle for the day. All right, guys, so basically that actuator is a sealed unit, so there's no way you're going to pull that apart, see if a solder joint has busted. So got the new one, and so basically right here we're just going to confirm it all looks the same. So it did come with the extra clip. We're going to need to transfer our door locks, basically pins. So I'm going to swap those out to the new ones, and we're going to get this bad boy in. All right, so got that in. The new one's going to be junk. When you do get a new electrical component, make sure you have the same amount of pins, and the mount and everything looks the same. So now we're going to pull this back. Again, it has to go in through the back, but we're going to put in the actual cable first. which actually goes in the little mechanism there. But I'm gonna get it behind and through here before I worry about putting these pieces in, because these go on this side of that, this rail right here. But it's gonna be easiest without all of that hoopla to get on the other side. Okay, so we got this back in. Remember, the leading edge has to sit over and then down, and there'll be a little lip underneath this trim. Once you get everything lined up, there shouldn't be a huge gap in between things. Everything should line up in here with all your other Christmas trees. We've got everything tightened down, everything adjusted in there. It is tight, so if you have big hands, yeah, it's gonna suck, but we're gonna finish wrapping this up. All right, guys, once you get all that done, again, you're gonna put this just onto where it stops right here at the ledge. Sorry, I guess you gotta see it. Once it sits on that, you can snap that back in. We're good there. Make sure you get your bolts in here and here. Then we'll have the two covers. These are labeled based on the colors, but let's see if we have a door actuation. Yay! Now let me get the key fob, where the heck I laid that dang thing. And let's see if the door unlocks with the key fob. All right. So I will put the link in the description to your actuator that you need in the door. Got it off the Zon, super cheap. Got it in 2 days. They're all made in China, so it doesn't really matter if it's AC Delco or whatnot. Granted, we always try and keep the Bosch stuff if we can, but you know, assembled in Mexico, so it's probably most of it's going to come from Japan, China, Mexico, Canada. So, but we got the problem fixed, guys. So now we get that done. Again, you just need to line up this little tab right here with this trailing edge. It's going to snap in. Again, we cleaned everything while we were in there, so that's good. We're going to get this little disc here. Again, guys, you can kind of see right there. It goes in at the top first, and then we just kind of snap it in. Got that one snapped in here. Again, same thing here. You can just kind of look at the contours of everything, and then you can just reach in here and you'll see that it just kind of pushes in. You won't have to force anything, guys. It's pretty easy. And then, like I said, that is how you're going to do your door actuator. Again, just pay attention when you got your hands in there. There's not any room to film anything, and there's definitely not room to really show you what's going on, but you'll see it when you pop it in there. Again, other than waiting for the part, this is really probably a, I don't know, an hour and a half job. If you have an extra set of hands to help you take the panel off, that's a plus. Have an extra set of hands to do this, that's a plus. But really, it took 3 tools. I will put the description of what you need. I'll put links to buy them if you don't have them. And again, this is going to work on any Silverado trim from 2008, 2007 and a half, I guess, all the way up to, I think they changed this in 13. So this will cover you from there. I'm going to finish wiping everything down, guys, and we are good to go. And we'll catch you on the next one.